I use these canyons and landmarks to try to get a good distance of how far I've come. I've come 3 miles today. That's probably way less than half of what I should be at. So my goal, me and Jacob set up another rendezvous at the next dam, is in 3 days. So I had an average of 10 miles a day to do. One like this ain't. I'm hoping that maybe I still got time left. Maybe I can make up that time or that distance, but if not, I'll have to make it up in the next 2 days. If there's not wind. I hope not. Well, I had the time wrong earlier. It's just a little after 3 o'clock now. The wind had died down a little bit. And I can feel it coming back again. It's weird. It comes and goes. But I'm doing okay. I can kind of feel my progress going a little more. And we're back to that again, which I think was yesterday video, I believe, or maybe the day before. I was wondering what was causing that, but I figured it out. It's dead algae from when the water level was higher, and it's bleached out now. So I got another problem to deal with. My arms, top of my forearms, look at them. I don't know if you can see them. What the heck, am I zoomed out or what? Okay, sorry. Anyway, I don't know if you can see them. They're all shiny with sunblock, but sun blisters all over the top of both of them from being in the, the direct 90-degree angle with the sun, rowing all day. So, I mean, it started like about 4 days ago, but I'll have to do something about that. I got to figure out how to cover them up. Okay. See all those holes in that? That's obviously a lava flow. And when it came and hit the water, it cooled faster and made all those air pockets. And it's pretty neat. Those birds use them like crazy. Spiders love them. Probably all kinds of critters. Now this is kind of cool because same place I was just at, but I've noticed it's a different type of stuff than I've been seeing upriver. It looks like I'm on a underwater cave and I'm not underwater. Boy, Lewis and Clark love to have a camera like this, huh, for their journey. They had to rely on descriptions and drawings of the animals, and sometimes drawings from descriptions, and a lot of those they had way off. They had a buffalo looking like, I don't know what you call it, but it didn't look like a buffalo from the pictures I seen. But yeah, imagine the photographic memory would be great though, but I like to take all this with me. I'm glad I got a camera. I found a little shady spot just down from where I talked to you before about the blackberry bushes. Those, yeah, it's like a solid 10, 12, 15 foot wall of ancient blackberry bushes that even go way up the hill here. I mean, they're old ones are holding up the new ones. I mean, they've been there for a very long time. So I'm just going to cool down here. It's like 4 o'clock, the hottest part of the day, so good spot to determine my progress and start looking for a camp spot or figure what to do here. And I think if I do that, I'm going to go over to the other side because it looks a little more promising for flatter ground to camp on. This one might be okay, but it's pretty sloped, so hopefully the wind dies down right after it starts to cool down a little bit, and I'll make a drive across the river. I didn't tell you yesterday, because my battery died and you missed half of that saga, but I fought the wind yesterday too. But right towards the end of the day, where I had to go around one last point to get into the boat launch area where I was getting out and meeting Jacob, all of a sudden that wind just absolutely flipped in direction. And I was using Mary Poppins power like crazy, and that's why you haven't seen it. It gusted a little bit, and it did what I thought it would eventually do, and it turned that thing inside out. But that's okay. I'm going to use it for a drift sock. Cut it down some, and if I ever get into current, that is. So it's not going to move me a lot, but it would help. You know, throw it down when I'm taking a break or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. So I'll let you know what I decide. Okay. I'm going to make this as quick as I can. Yesterday was the last time I recorded when I sat on the shady shore to contemplate my next move for camping. Right after that, I went to the boat to get my Skittles and the camera, and my foot slipped on the rock as the wind blew the bow around, and my shoe came off. I lost my balance. My whole camera bag, just like this, went bloop in the water. I banged my knee. My knee's okay. It was a little swollen yesterday. I had a first aid kit and I iced it with one of those chemical ice packs they had, but it's nothing but a little bruise and abrasions. It's not bad. I thought I lost my camera totally. I lost my cell phones. I got one of them kind of back today, but the one I need to use to communicate with my support team still isn't. It's coming on, but I can't see the screen. So I'm about mile 7 from where I started yesterday. The wind is still or not. I'm in a non-windy spot. After what happened yesterday, I waited till it cooled down a little bit, like I said I was going to do. Then I rode my ass off to the North Shore where it looked like there might be some camping. It wasn't supposed to be camping. It was a Army Corps of Engineer habitat management unit. I could see big sprinklers going on it. I thought it was a park or maybe an orchard, but it wasn't. I didn't want to camp there, and I actually rode down as far as I could trying to get out of it, but I was totally exhausted. As you can see, I came up with a remedy. It doesn't look good, but it works. You know, since I'm rowing one direction, the sun now has been on one side, so it's mainly my left side that's getting the most hammering by the sun. But glad to have you back, Wilson. I haven't went far after I just talked to you. There's these poles and nesting type things for the geese all over the place and I'm using them to hook my foot bar on so I don't drift back and I take a rest or whatever. But I want to show you what I'm doing for my legs. I took a towel and wrapped around him and took the rest of my ace bandage that I didn't use for my right arm, and I made a little deal just to keep it around there. It works good. I tell you, I don't know how many times Lewis and Clark had to pull the boats. I don't think they did really in this river. I think it was mainly in the Missouri. But not counting today, I bet I pulled this boat 5 miles so far. You can only do it on the right shores and when the wind is just not worth the effort. So I'm going to let you watch this until the battery runs out. It's about to die again. In some ways it's kind of a relief to the arms and stuff, but you got to have the right shore to do it on, like I said. Well, I don't know if you can see, there's a barbed wire fence there that goes out into the water. I'm not getting my boat anywhere near a barbed wire fence. So the wind is kind of calming down. It's probably going on 4 o'clock, I think. I'll share something else with you. This is, you have this in your yard. I had tons of it. I hate it. It's a weed, really. But it comes in, the seeds and stuff coming in on your bark and stuff, and then you got it all over. It's called purslane, and it's in the succulent family. But the one thing I do know about it, it's edible. The leaves are full of moisture. It tastes okay. I mean, actually, after you've been eating what I've been eating, it's not that bad. I mean, it tastes better than grass. I'm gonna start rowing again. This here to me looks like more something like you'd see on the coast somewhere, but the terrain here as far as the beach is changing again. And those little hollows back there, birds are running around. They've got nests back in there. I got a couple pictures of them. I'm sure you'll see them on the stills. I'm just waiting for the wind to come down so I can get around this point. It's dying again. I'm gonna guess it's 5 o'clock. I don't know. I'll have to look here. I need to look. So I'll probably see you on the other side of that. Well, I made it around the point I just took a picture of. It's a whole line of this. I don't know how far it goes, like a half mile probably. You know, before this trip, I was on this boat quite a bit, but I don't think I'd ever be out in something like this. It'd probably scare the crap out of me. But after all I've been through on this boat, this doesn't really bother me. I mean, I've been up and down a lot bigger swells on a smaller river now, and it scared the crap out of me then, but I'm gonna go for it. Well, I rode hard for a piece of that, and look what God left in my wake here. Oh, there's a dead bird back there. Doggone it. It's like a merganser or something. But anyway, hang on, I got to get control of the boat here. This is a nice little shady spot. Look at the water, isn't that nice? I'd kick any of my kids' ass for trying anything like this. But I haven't made nearly the miles. And I can't pull the boat on this kind of terrain. I was hoping it, you know, because it's getting evening, that sun's working its way down, it would slow down like it does every night for the last 3 nights. Hoping that it does the flip-flopping direction like it has the last 2 nights too. It did it last night, but I wasn't on the water then. Whew. I was hoping to get to where I can catch a fish tonight. I need some meat. I think that's why I'm getting weak. Really need a bass. I don't want to eat a carp. I guess I can eat some more purslane, but that's not good. While I was here, no luck. I don't know if the wind feels like it is. It don't look like it yet, but that water takes a while to calm down. I know it looks dangerous, folks, but great country always offers great peril. I named this thing the River Challenge, not the River Float. These nice guys, older guys, came over to make sure I was okay here. I'm sure it didn't look like I was okay. But I told them I'm okay, just waiting for the wind to calm down, and they said, good luck with that. Yeah, I know. I'm still here. It's just after 7:20. I was just looking at the map here. I don't have far to go. Like 3 miles. If I get clear water, or flat water, I can do that. But if it done, I'm gonna have to go in like 15-20 minutes, whatever it's doing. It's not blowing like it was, it's still churning though. It's just taking it a while. And I watch the birds how they come by here, and if they go up in the air, I know it's still blowing because I'm sheltered right here. Well, cautious time is over. I wish I had some music for this, but my speaker's dead, and I don't want to use that kind of a battery power. I want to save it for the camera. And I wished I could film this, but if I do, my camera will die and I won't be able to show you I made it to camp, so I don't want to leave you hanging. So believe me, it'll be fun. It was not that bad. I want you guys to get a good idea what I'm up against here. I'm trying to go downstream, and the wind is, you see how fast it's pushing me upstream when I don't row? Well, just around the corner, that's the picture of the rocks I just took. Here's this other little, see, it's a little cove, but back in here, this is it's okay to camp here. It even says so. I mean, it doesn't say no camping, so that means it says so. It just says keep the place clean. Well, I'll get close so you can read it. Okay, so it doesn't look great for camping, but the thing about sand, you can flatten it out, and I like to make a little divot for my back because at night the middle of my back has just been so tense that I cannot relax it. I have no position I set in when I get off the boat. I want to like lay down in the recliner or something like that, but it ain't gonna happen. At Little Goose Dam I was supposed to meet my support team. Well, after looking at the map, like I said last night, I was going to tell you where I was at. That's 19 miles. Yesterday, you seen how hard it was. I went 5. So I did, out of 30, I did 11, and I have 19 more to go. And I have to show you something. Last night I was burning the midnight oil again because I come out here to set up my raft, because believe it or not, it's the most comfortable chair that I got. Anyway, I noticed, let me turn this over here, sorry. This is the back of my bottom of my seat. I leaned back and I noticed 2 of the front bolts I've snapped off during the rowing, pushing so hard. My cargo was holding it up, but I took my cargo off and I noticed it was broke. So it just pulled the bolts right out of the plastic threads, and they dropped in the river somewhere, I guess. I didn't even know it. So I had to I heated up one of my tent stakes and I pushed holes through here so I can put tie wraps on. And I could have put this back together last night. I just wanted to show you guys. And I'll wrap those tie wraps around this and it'll be fine. So I'm still trying to wake up here. I didn't want to wake up to this. Well, I've had 2 cups of coffee. It's time to go. But I wanted to share something with some of you that are around my generation. If you ever watched Gilligan's Island growing up, I watched it all the time. When I was sitting here in the boat last night, looking out there, you could not see not one glimmer of a light on the shore or on the water, obviously, except for one barge that came by during the night, one this morning. But the stars were just amazing. And I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden, the theme song to Gilligan's Island: no lights, no boats, no motor cars, not a single luxury, like Robinson Crusoe, as primitive as can be. That's exactly the way I felt, especially having to fix my boat. It's like I'm stranded on an island and I keep going in circles and landing on it again. I'm still here on the beach, not getting in a great big hurry. Yeah, I just want to let my kids know, be in advance, and they won't see this till later, but sorry, didn't make the checkpoint, and you're gonna be probably worried. But you don't have faith by now, you need to start getting some. See what I did to Wilson? I made a container out of him. Oh well. I did that when I lost the camera, and I figured God didn't want me to have a Wilson, so I destroyed that one. Well, made a use out of it. I didn't destroy it. Then I got you guys back, so it's cool. So I have a plan. I've been working on this for a while. Jacob, I told him about it last time I seen him. This tent has a really nice rain fly. A rain fly that'll turn into a sail or a parachute type thing. Really easy. But I just have to have the wind in the right direction. I'm not going to Lewiston. I'm going to Pasco. So I'm, like I said, in no big hurry today. I'm kind of like an old tree. Sometimes I gotta bend a little with the wind so I don't break. Well, it's about noon and I'm still here. I was loading the boat. And I sat in my chair that I fixed with tie wraps and I leaned back to test it a couple times and I snapped all 4 of those tie wraps. Yeah, it didn't snap the tie wraps, it snapped the keepers, and I'm telling you guys, those weren't the cheap tie wraps. So, plan B. I have some like cord, it's like parachute cord. I went through the same holes and I tied it as tight as I could here twice on each one. I still got the bolts, the wing nuts and everything on this one, so that may give me a little slack or whatever, but it should hold. I'm gonna load up and probably take off walking down this bank. It's not great walking, but I can do it. I'm not sure about the time. I think it's like 12:30 now, and no better. No better. But I tried to load low, you know, and stay out of the wind a little bit more. I don't know, it doesn't help a whole lot, but any little bit helps. I want to take this, before I get started, I want to say something here. The buckskin that I've been wearing in camp pretty much every night when I can. It keeps the mosquitoes off, and it's helped me in a lot of different ways, really. In the Bible it says, honor thy brother, love thy neighbor. With that buckskin on this trip, I am honoring my brother. And the rest of this is for you, neighbors.